Fool Me Once by Harlan Coben. Maya Stern, a decorated helicopter pilot recently discharged from the Army after a controversial incident, is reeling from the murder of her husband, Joe Burkett. Joe, from a wealthy and influential family, was shot in Central Park during what was supposed to be a romantic rendezvous. At the funeral, Maya is surrounded by Joe's family, her close friends from the military, and her niece and nephew, Daniel and Alexa. Daniel and Alexa's mom, Claire, who was Maya's sister, had been murdered several months earlier. Their dad, Eddie, is struggling with alcohol and grief, so Maya has promised to take care of them. As people pay their respects, Maya is approached by NYPD detective Kierce, who seems to be suspicious of her, and Joe's mother, Judith, who invites Maya and Lily, her 2-year-old daughter with Joe, to move into the family estate. Maya declines. As Maya leaves the funeral, she is given a gift by Eileen, her best friend from college, and Claire's former roommate, a nanny cam disguised as a digital picture frame. Maya doesn't believe she will need it, but accepts the gift anyway. Later that day, Detective Kierce comes to Maya's house and questions her about the night of the murder. He seems to be suspicious, and Maya grows increasingly frustrated with his questions. She offers to prove her shooting skills to him at a gun range, insinuating that she would never have missed her target if she had wanted Joe dead. He doesn't accept her offer, but asks to see her guns. Maya brings him to her gun safe, which only she and Joe could open with their fingerprints, and he takes her Smith & Wesson with him. The next day, after dropping Lily off with Isabella, the family's longtime nanny, Maya goes to Alexa's soccer game. Alexa's coach is a bully, and Maya confronts him about the fact that he doesn't let all the girls play as is required by league rules. When he dismisses her, Maya pulls down his pants in front of everyone. As she is leaving, Maya thinks she sees the same red Buick that has been following her since the funeral. When Maya drops Daniel and Alexa off at home, she tells Eddie that she will continue to look after the kids, which he doesn't like. He tells her that she brings death with her, and he doesn't want her around his children. A few days later, Maya is dropping Daniel and Alexa off at home after another soccer game when she sees the red Buick again. She goes into the house to talk to Eddie about it, and he tells her that he got a call from the soccer league about her incident with the coach. He tells her to leave and to stay away from his children. When Maya gets home, Isabella tells her that Lily has no idea that her father is dead. Maya then receives a text from Daniel telling her that Alexa doesn't want her to go to her soccer game. Later, Maya is home with Lily when her friend Shane, another military buddy, comes over. He tells Maya that Corey Rudzinski, the man who released the video that ended Maya's military career, has returned to the United States. Maya tells him that she doesn't care. Later that night, Maya reviews the footage from the nanny cam, fast-forwarding through most of it until she sees something shocking: a man wearing Joe's clothes and a watch Joe always wore. When he turns around, Maya sees that it is Joe. She asks Lily if she saw Daddy and shows her the video. Lily says that she did see Daddy. Maya goes to Joe's closet and sees that the clothes the man in the video was wearing are missing. The next morning, when Isabella arrives, Maya asks her if anyone else was in the house the day before. Isabella says no. Maya tells her about the nanny cam and shows her the footage, but Isabella acts as if she doesn't see anything unusual. When Maya questions her, Isabella tells Maya that she is scaring her and runs away, pepper spraying Maya in the face as she goes. A few minutes later, Detective Kierce shows up and asks what happened to her face. She tells him about the nanny cam, but when she goes to show him the footage, she sees that the SD card is missing. Maya accuses Isabella of taking it, but Kierce says that he went to Isabella's house, and she claims that Maya assaulted her and she used pepper spray in self-defense. Isabella also claims that Maya was ranting about seeing Joe on the nanny cam. Kierce tells Maya that he can get her a restraining order, but Maya decides not to press charges. Kierce tells her that he needs her to come to the station, and she agrees. Maya takes Lily to a new daycare center and leaves her there. At the police station, Maya participates in 2 lineups and identifies the 2 men who attacked her and Joe in the park, even though they are wearing ski masks. The men have been picked up by police, but without positive IDs, they will likely be let go. Kierce tells her that he has more information to share and offers to take her home. In the car, he tells Maya that the bullets that killed Joe were from the same gun that killed Claire. Maya is shocked and goes back to the police station with Kierce to discuss the new information. Kierce asks her about Claire's murder and about her whereabouts at the time, which she confirms were in the Middle East. He then tells her that the investigators in Claire's case initially believed it was a home invasion, but they have new information. He then reveals that the same gun was used to kill both Joe and Claire. Maya returns to Claire's house, which is a mess, and starts going through Claire's things. She remembers that Claire had a secret phone that she hid in an old trunk, and she finds it there. She tries to turn it on, but the battery is dead. Eddie comes home and yells at Maya for being there and for going through Claire's things. He tells her that he got a call from the town about her incident with Alexa's soccer coach and that she needs to leave. Maya tells him that she found Claire's secret phone and asks him if Claire was having an affair. He doesn't believe her and tells her to leave. Later, Maya is able to charge Claire's phone and look through the call log. She sees that all the calls were made to the same number, which she traces back to a strip club in New Jersey called Leather and Lace. She calls Eddie and asks him if he has ever been there, but he denies it and says that he doesn't know anything about the club. The next day, Maya goes to the club to investigate. She speaks to the manager, who denies knowing anything about Claire or the phone calls. When Maya leaves the club, she notices a red Buick Verano and checks the license plate. It is the same car that has been following her. She goes to put a tracker on it, but is stopped by the bouncer, who tells her that she is in the employee parking area and escorts her back to her car. She goes to a nearby parking lot and waits for the car to leave, planning to follow it. When it finally does, she follows it for a few minutes and then realizes that she might be recognized. She decides to confront the driver and cuts him off, getting out of her car with her gun drawn. She gets in the passenger seat and tells the driver to take off his hat. He does, and she sees that it is Corey Rudninski, the man behind Corey the Whistle. Corey tells Maya to put her gun away and explains that Claire reached out to him a few months before she died because she was afraid that Corey was going to release the audio from the helicopter video. He says that he decided not to because Claire convinced him that it would unfairly target Maya, who is just a pawn in a corrupt system. He also tells Maya that he was able to convince Claire to help him take down Burkett Enterprises, her and Joe's company, because they were doing something illegal with one of their pharmaceutical companies in Asia. Maya realizes that Claire was killed because she was getting too close to the truth about Burkett Enterprises and possibly something even bigger. Corey tells Maya that he has more information to share, but it isn't safe there, and he takes her back to the club. He tells Maya that Claire had told him about a private investigator, Tom Douglas, that the Burketts were paying off. Claire was supposed to send Corey more information, but she never did. Corey believes that Tom Douglas might be the key to exposing the Burketts and asks Maya to help him find him. Maya goes to Tom Douglas's office but finds it empty. She then goes to his house and speaks to his wife, who tells her that she doesn't know anything about Tom's work with the Burketts, but that he has been missing for 3 weeks. Maya then calls Judith, Joe's mother, and they agree to meet at Judith's office later that day. Maya goes to Isabella's house and confronts her and Hector about the nanny cam video. Hector admits that he was the one in the video and that he took the SD card back to Farnwood. Maya places a tracker on Hector's truck and then leaves. Later, at Judith's office, Maya meets with her colleague, Mary McLeod, who tries to convince her that she needs therapy. Maya tells Mary McLeod that she saw Joe on the nanny cam, and Mary McLeod says that it is possible that she imagined it, but it isn't consistent with her PTSD symptoms. Maya asks for the new medication Mary McLeod had offered and leaves. Later, Maya meets Judith at the Burkett's house and confronts her about Tom Douglas. Judith claims to know nothing about him, but Maya doesn't believe her. She tells Judith that Joe killed Claire, and Judith admits that Claire stole from the company and was trying to destroy the family, so Joe tried to stop her. Maya tells Judith that she knows Joe killed Andrew, and Judith initially denies it, but eventually breaks down and admits that she suspected it was true. She tells Maya that she paid Tom Douglas to cover up Andrew's suicide so that he would be protected. Maya leaves and goes back to Claire's house to look for more clues. Eddie tells Maya that Claire's EZ Pass records show that she went to Philadelphia a week before she died. Maya remembers that Andrew and Joe went to boarding school near Philadelphia. The next day is soccer day, and Maya takes Lily to see her cousins. She tells Eddie that she knows Claire wasn't cheating on him, and that she believes Claire contacted Corey Rudzinski to keep him from releasing the audio from the helicopter video. She also tells Eddie that Claire started gathering dirt on the Burketts to help Corey take them down, and that she believes that is what got her killed. Later, Maya gets a call from Corey, who tells her that he has more information and asks her to meet him at the club. When she gets there, he is frantic and tells her that he needs to leave the country. He has been tracking Tom Douglas's emails, and there haven't been any for weeks. He was contacted by the owner of a storage unit Tom Douglas rented because he was behind on his payments. Corey thinks they should check out the unit, and he and Maya drive to the address. When they get there and open the unit, they find Tom Douglas's dead body. Maya sends Corey away so that he won't be implicated and calls 911. She is questioned by police, but eventually released. Detective Kierce tells her that he knows that Shane tested the bullet for her and that he thinks she is lying and is involved somehow. Maya tells him that Caroline told her that the family has been paying him off. He says that isn't true. He tells Maya that she keeps finding dead bodies and that she is a suspect in Tom Douglas's murder. He also reveals that they found Tom Douglas's blood in the trunk of her car. Maya denies knowing anything about it and leaves. Back at home, Maya goes to her gun safe and checks to make sure everything is still there. She remembers that Joe had used one of her guns, a Smith & Wesson 686, to kill Claire, and that she switched it with another Smith & Wesson before the police came to investigate. She then gets a call from Christopher Swain, Joe's former soccer teammate, who tells her that he has information about Andrew's death and asks her to come to the Solomani Recovery Center in Connecticut to talk to him. Maya agrees and drives there with her gun. When she gets there, she meets Christopher Swain, and he tells her that Joe killed his brother, Andrew. He explains that Andrew's best friend, Theo Mora, died of alcohol poisoning after a hazing incident where he, Joe, Andrew, and two other teammates tied him to a chair and forced him to drink grain alcohol through a funnel. Joe hid Theo's body in the basement, and Andrew was racked with guilt and wanted to confess to the police. While on the yacht, he told Joe and the others that he was going to confess, and then he went up to the deck, followed by Joe. Christopher Swain believes that Joe pushed Andrew off the boat. Maya leaves the recovery center and drives away. She realizes that Joe didn't just kill Claire, he also killed Theo and Andrew. She also starts to suspect that the video of Joe on the nanny cam might not have been real. As she is driving home, a van cuts her off. A man gets out and points a gun in her face. He tells her to get out of the car and that Joe is waiting for her. She sees that the men don't know that she is armed, so she pretends to cry. And then, when they let their guard down, she pulls out her gun and shoots one of the men dead. She runs away into the woods and then back to her car, pushing the dead man's body off the road as she goes. Maya drives away and calls Eddie, asking him to meet her at Lily's daycare center. She tells Eddie what happened, and they go inside to fill out the paperwork so that he is authorized to pick up Lily. Maya then tells Eddie that she believes Andrew's death is connected to Claire's and Joe's murders. She asks Eddie to help her by looking for more clues in Claire's things, and he agrees. After they leave, Maya switches license plates with Eddie and then heads to Paterson, New Jersey, where Isabella's brother, Hector, lives. She has been tracking his truck and knows that he has been going back and forth between the Burkett house and Paterson. When Maya gets there, she sees Hector's truck and waits for him to come out. When he does, Isabella is with him. Maya gets in the back of the truck and points a gun at Hector's head, demanding that he tell her where Isabella has been and what they have been doing. Isabella tells her that Judith told them that Maya had killed Joe and asked for their help in proving it. Maya then realizes that the green shirt Hector was wearing is the same one that Joe was wearing in the nanny cam video. Maya tells Hector and Isabella that she didn't kill Joe and asks them how they got the footage for the nanny cam video. Hector tells her that he wore Joe's clothes, and then someone used CGI to Photoshop Joe's face onto the video. Maya realizes that Judith is behind it all and that she is trying to make her look crazy. She also thinks that Joe might still be alive. Just then, Shane appears. Maya gets out of the truck and tells Shane that Joe is dead and that she killed him. Maya tells Shane that Joe killed Claire, and Shane is understandably confused and upset. He tells her that Detective Kierce told him that the same gun was used to kill Joe and Claire, but Maya says that it was because she switched the guns before the police arrived. She then tells him the truth about what happened in Iraq, that she ignored orders and fired on the SUV even though there was a possibility that there were civilians inside, because she didn't want to lose any more soldiers. She says that this is why she has the flashbacks, not because she feels guilty about killing civilians, but because she doesn't feel guilty and she knows that she would do it again. Shane is horrified. Just then, Maya hears a car pull up and sees that it is Judith, Neil, and Caroline. She tells them that she knows that Judith set up the nanny cam video to try to make her look crazy and that Joe really is dead. She accuses Joe of killing not just Claire but also Theo, Maura, and Andrew. Judith tells her that Claire was trying to take down the company and Joe was trying to stop her. Maya tells her that she knows that Joe and Andrew went up to the deck of the yacht together and that Joe killed him. Judith falls to her knees, devastated, and tells Maya that she can't live with herself. She tells Maya that they can make a deal and blame the EAC pharmaceutical scandal and Joe's murder on Joe so that she and Neil will be protected. Maya tells her that it's too late, but then Neil pulls out a gun and shoots Maya, saying that now they won't have to look over their shoulders. He, Judith, and Caroline plan to make it look like Maya attacked them and that Neil killed her in self-defense. However, Maya smiles as she is dying because she had set up a live feed with the nanny cam, and the whole world has just witnessed what the Burketts have done. 25 years later, Shane and Eileen visit Lily and her husband, Dean, at the hospital where she has just given birth to a baby girl. They are joined by Eddie, his new wife Selena, Daniel, and Alexa. Lily asks Shane to hold the baby and tells him that they named her Maya. Shane looks at Eddie and says, "Grandpa." Eddie starts to cry. The end. If you enjoyed this book breakdown, please consider liking this video and subscribing to get notified when we post our next breakdown.